Hello Facebook, Heather here from Nima. It's Tuesday, so that means it's another Team Tuesday here at Nima. I'm with Steve Portela, our lead product development engineer. Thanks for joining us. We're in the lab today. It's a new change of scenery. We're excited. We've got lots of engineering things happening in the back here. This is where the Nima magic happens. So Steve, tell us what you do on a daily basis for Nima.
So as you said, I'm on the product development team, and we do everything from conceptual work all the way through to figuring out how to manufacture something and making sure that once it's manufactured and in the field that it's actually working the way it's supposed to.
Awesome. And so you've been here pretty much since the beginning.
It's going on 3 years come 2 weeks from now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, how has it been seeing Nima as just an idea gone all the way to now in the wild, people using it every day?
One simple word, rewarding. I think that being able to get involved so early before something physically existed, and it's just an idea, and seeing it through all the way from nothing to something people use in their everyday, it's pretty rewarding. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a fun ride. It's been tough, working with a lot of great people, and
that's not the tough part though, right?
No. Hopefully many good years to come.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions for Steve, let us know in the comments. We're happy to answer. But in the meantime, where were you before Nima? What brought you here?
So prior to this, I was working in Boston, a company called Haemonetics. It's a med device company, and they make, technical term is apheresis, but you can think of it as
what is that?
blood diagnostics.
Okay.
So if you are in surgery and you losing a lot of blood in this type of surgery, they make equipment that collects that blood and filters it so you can get it back and not get a transfusion, complications with that. The side that I was on is if you are going to donate blood, there's chair side equipment that collects your blood, filters out what it wants, whether it be white cells, but you don't want white cells, but red cells, platelets, and then gives you everything else back. Instead of donating whole blood, then they filter out in the lab, and then it goes in the rest goes in the garbage because they can't use it. So a little bit different, but a lot of similarities in the sense that there's disposables. It's medically inclined, if you will, and yeah, part of the reason I wanted to come to SF was just to get away from the Boston winters and be able to enjoy the outdoors a little bit more. So it's been good.
And why Nima?
When I first moved out here, I was interviewing with a lot of companies, and had the opportunity to meet with Shireen and Scott and Jingxing, and loved the motivation, really the drive for them is personal, in developing such a product, and that to me is hands down more important than anything else. When you spend so many hours working on stuff like this, for me, I know that I have many friends with celiac, and it hit home as well. So back on the rewarding part of it, to be able to work on something that I can see my friends use, and maybe I'll have to use someday, or will want to use. It just seemed like a good fit for my background, and a lot of interest in what could come.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you mentioned you have friends with celiac disease. You yourself, you could see yourself using this someday. What's your food identity?
Yeah. I feel like my food identity changes from year to year, week to week. It's kind of a constant development as I learn new things about myself or about health, and as new data comes out and tells us what's good and what's bad. My firm belief is that diet is a lifetime change. It's not a winter change to get a nice looking body for the beach. But for me, the key things are minimizing processed foods, minimizing added sugars, and I tend to just eat vegetarian or even pescatarian mostly, just because that's what feels best for me.
It seems to be a trend. Scott is mostly plant-based. Carlo is vegetarian. Now we've got another vegetarian. Yep. We're gonna have to mix it up next week. So if you could have a Nima for anything, what would you want a Nima to test for?
Ooh. I don't know that this is going to really apply to my life because that's cheating, isn't it? But one thing that I found very interesting is I've always wanted to be a professional athlete.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's maybe something I'll try and accomplish in retirement. But being able to
Or maybe
test,
your side hustle now.
or maybe my side hustle. I'll have to think about that one when I get some time. Being able to test food and or supplements for that matter, and understand how my body reacts to those consumed items, so that not only do I understand what's going into my body, but understand how my body performs on the outside of that intake. I think someday we'll be able to integrate that type of information, and where that lies for me, I don't exactly know, but someday it would be cool to know, hey, I just ate this burger and whatever else happened with my body, and I can see those metrics and make better decisions in the future.
It's definitely a trend we're seeing. Like, people want to know how nutrition is impacting them, and then also want to be able to customize their nutrition. So maybe there will be a Nima for that someday
and
soon.
I mean, we're doing all of that based on feel right now, right? How does it make you feel? If you feel lethargic, you feel like maybe you shouldn't eat it. Which
Maybe the burger at lunch wasn't a good idea.
Feel when I eat a fried chicken sandwich, but it's just kind of the intent that I have would be awesome to see what goes in, how my body feels afterwards, and correlate that with physical metrics like cholesterol level, heart rate, whatever it is. I think someday we'll get there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're helping that progress.
Gluten first, but definitely
Yeah.
that could be
long-term vision.
Yeah, long-term vision. So this is a question we're asking everyone. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Scott said avocado, so he picked a very specific food. Carla said salad, so that's like a broad range of things. You can take that question however you want it.
I like the purest effort of Scott's answer, but I'm not going to do that. So I don't
Too
think
hard?
I'd be able to do
Too
that.
hard?
I'm actually going to go the direct opposite and cheat and say pizza, just because I can put anything on pizza.
Mm-hmm. And that's the classic.
Who doesn't like pizza?
I mean.
Yeah, it's got everything.
So since you're from New York, are you like strict New York pizza only, or?
So I just came back from New York.
Yeah.
Visiting family there, and I can tell you I eat bagels every single day. Even though it's one of my rules not to do so. Vacation, right?
It's not processed if it's made in New York,
it's
right?
added sugar and good. And yeah, you just can't find bagels and pizza like you have there for whatever reason.
Yeah.
There's a lot of theories out there that I won't name now, but whatever it is they do there, it's better.
So last question for you here. What are you just most excited about for Nima in the future? What's coming down the line that you're just like, oh my god, this is so cool, I'm so excited to get to work on this?
Yeah, I think the obvious, more immediate ones are new allergens, right? I think that the platform is there, and now we can just try and roll out as much as we can on the top 8 allergens or whatever it may be, as quickly as possible. I think longer term goes back to, how far can we actually take this? Being the first people in the market that are testing intake, or testing something before it goes in your body. I'm really interested to see where that goes and what we can do with that, and then hopefully future collaborations with other companies on how we can make the full suite.
Syncing with other apps or devices.
Yeah, or just the Fitbits and getting the full gamut of your intake to your output, and understanding our bodies better every minute, every day, not every year, every 6 months.
Yeah.
I think that bigger picture really is the thing that drives me personally, to try and understand how this all fits in.
Yeah.
And I can also at the same time see the short-term drivers of just the food allergies, huge issue, growing issue, and to be able to help with that is it's clutch. It's fun, it's rewarding, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I know everyone's really excited for the peanut sensor, so I think everyone watching probably thanks you for all your hard work. Thanks for being here. And just as a reminder, we're doing these every Tuesday, so make sure you check back here. Facebook Live next Tuesday will feature a new team member. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.